Hey guys, Supersonic123 aka John here. Welcome to episode number 41 of the Everton Career Mode. And you may notice this episode is a good bit longer than usual at around 16 minutes. And the reason for that is I tried to fit in 4 whole games in today's episode, the first of which is this one against Southampton at St Mary's. The reason I wanted to fit in 4 games is, being honest, right? I want to get through this 30 as quickly as possible, to make sure that I am finished it before FIFA 17, you know? And I think the best way I can guarantee that is by taking as little amount of episodes as possible to reach the end of the season. And the way I tried to do that for this episode is fit in an extra game. Normally I play 3, in this episode there's 4. But given the workload that makes it making an average episode, it's 4 games instead of 3. I think I'll stick to 3 games and see if I start going back behind. If I don't think I'm making enough progression, I can go back to this 4 match and episode system that I'm using right now. But what I start really get in this Southampton game was after Andre Carrillo squares the ball in, the shot saved by Daniele Baselli, but it rebounds to Paco Alcacer, who finishes into the back of the empty net past Fraser Forster to make it Southampton 0, Everton 1. Baselli shot saved by Forster, but then it's tapped into the empty net by Paco Alcacer for his first Premier League goal of the season. In the second game of the season, we saw the first in the last episode. It was the Derby win over Liverpool. And then, so Paco Alcacer gets his first goal of the season, having scored 4 for us last season. That was the real highlight of the first half, so it would be Southampton 0, Everton 1 at half time. Coming to that second half, then things were Krause in the post, with Tim Howard more or less beating Pato, and then the post again through Victor Wanyama before Shane Long forced it to go behind. Then we were trying to double our lead here with Gerard Deulofeu going around Ryan Bertrand. He takes on Virgil van Dijk, beats him, cuts inside, gets across into the box. It's headed on by Ross Barkley, and that hits the post, and Fraser Forster looked to be beaten from that header. Then Daniele Baselli would slide the ball in for Paco Alcacer here. Turns inside to his right, as he so often does. Picks out the pass for, there's Yuri Tillemans, who wearing the number 17 shirt for this episode as opposed to the 36 we were wearing last episode. Following that, then, Southampton will come forward here. Oriol Romeu's shot, punched away by Tim Howard, comes as far as Cedric Suarez, who pumps the ball into the box. It's headed on by Sadio Mane, and Sadio Mane makes it Southampton win, Everton win, the tying end of the game. And I just want to say this. What in Lord Buddha's name was Tim Howard doing here? Look at this. As the ball comes in from Cedric Suarez, Howard just ducks down. He ducks out of the way of the ball as if it's going to roll along the ground. But of course, it's gone over him because Mane's headed it over him. I'm fully convinced he would have saved that otherwise, had he not gone down to the ground to pick the imaginary ball up. But anyway, it just finished Southampton 1, Everton 1. And we have some player training here following that. Again, you guys know I'm trying to maximise the ability of our youth team players. You see, I'm trying to train Philip McElhinney to be a beast free kick taker. Like that's my main goal, is have him be a free kick specialist. Following that, then we would travel to Denmark to take on FC Copenhagen in the first leg of our Champions League playoff. Obviously, we qualified for the Champions League by finishing 4th last year. That just get us into the playoff round. Taking on Copenhagen here. Obviously, we did enter in this round last season against Aberdeen, and we were all the way to the semi-final when we were knocked out by Wolfsburg in the away goals, which was devastating. I'm hoping to go at least one better this season. You know? I mean, I don't think obviously the teams that we're facing are probably going to be a bit too good for us for us to win the competition. But I can see us making the final with the team in December. I really can. With Laporte is actually going to be a great addition. And you see there that I played more or less a second string team for this game against Copenhagen because I thought it was a bit of a formality of being a playoff round and all. I thought it would be an absolute disgrace if we were to lose here. But Poirier for Copenhagen comes forward with the Bola pass into the middle and the shot from the Copenhagen man. And it's an FC Copenhagen 1, Everton 0, and atrocious defending from here. I don't know what Tice Randy was doing coming up so far. The shot comes into the flight into the back of the net off Bart Rudolphson's face, Our backup goalkeeper now 70 against overall, so way better than whatever Joel Robles was in the first season. Following that, then Juan Bernat would slide the ball into Dylan Burge. He would in turn find Michi Batshuayi, and with the finesse shot, Michi Batshuayi make it Copenhagen 1, Everton 1, as we equalised to get that oh-so precious away goal away in Denmark, and in the Danish capital, the Belgian Batshuayi makes it Copenhagen 1, Everton 1. Fantastic work from Dylan Burge, one of our youth scouted players, finding Batshuayi, takes one touch, finesse shot, back of the net, 1-1. Dylan Burge has had quite the impact in most of the games he's played him in so far in his Everton career, but no better than there, getting an assist. Obviously, I'll keep coming back to this. He scored on his debut in the Merseyside derby last season, so I'll always just remember that. Following that, then Copenhagen will come forward again and try and regain their lead here. The Copenhagen man trying to turn Funes Mori inside out. In the end, he finds that man, and the header is saved by Dragowski, and the West Bram picks it up. Anyway, Hesse Rodriguez would have the ball for us here. We play the ball inside to James McCarthy, who will assess his options. Find Philip McElhenney, who gets shot into the box, and the referee gives a penalty for handball. I turned handballs on, funnily enough, and that's the first time that since I turned it on in any game on camera or off, it's been given, and you'll see here with the penalty of Hesse, it's saved by the Copenhagen goalkeeper. But I just want to show you in a second the instant replay to show you why he was given as a handball and how he got a penalty there. But, as you see, as Philip McElhenney comes down the right wing here, it bounces off the Copenhagen defender's leg and bounces up onto his arm. So definitely a very harsh decision, and you could say just deserves that it was that penalty was missed, and it means it won. But it wouldn't run for long as Copenhagen regain the lead here, and I'm not sure what it is actually, but they would make Copenhagen 2, Everton 1, and that puts us on the back foot yet again in this competition. This means we would require at least a 1-0 win away at Goodison Park, the result being as it was 2-1 to Copenhagen. But that away goal for Michi Batshuayi could prove crucial because, of course, it was away goals that led to us being knocked out of last year's competition. Following that, then we would take on Manchester United at Goodison Park, aiming to keep our good start to the league season going. A win here against United, a team who actually we picked to fourth place in the season. To make a stick to content that we want to challenge for the title this season, and as Man United will likely be one of our main competitors, even though they finished fifth last season in the game, unfortunately, with Romelu Lukaku on the bench there, he's only 41, funnily enough, as well with Andreas Pereira starting in the team for Wayne Rooney. Either way, I thought a massive statement of content that we could make would be to beat the show. But we're not messing around. We're not going to settle for fourth place, Arsenal style. No, we want to challenge for this title, and we want to take whoever else is going to challenge. We want to challenge them all the way. In our first season with Everton, our third season with Everton, we want to give them their first title since 1987. Anyway, we would get the opening goal this game against Man with Paco receiving the through ball, putting it inside into his right foot, and finishing putting his competition on his right foot there. We've seen him do this so many times, so maybe a lot of times you can put nothing to him show it, but I do this with him all the time. And it works here, fixing up against Korai Gunter, number 3 there, who just slots it calmly past Victor Valdez in goal. Paco makes to Everton 1, Man United 0. With his second Premier League goal this season in 3 games. Following that then, Paco Alcacer picked up the ball again. I was shot, saved by Victor Valdez this time, as it was cleared up the Spaniard. Then Man United would come forward, Daley Blind sliding the ball in towards Gareth Bale, and the shot is saved by Tim Howard. He's only able to turn on the rebound, the Welshman. And then United would come forward again, Morgan Schneiderlin with drilling it to Edison Cavani, and Andreas Pereira's shot saved by Howard, and the follow-up from Cavani saved by Howard yet again. Man United again would attack us. Andres Pereira picking up the ball from Gareth Bale, finding Edison Cavani. Edison Cavani with the header hits the post. Man United having such a good team. Bale and Cavani just wreaking havoc so far in this first half, but it would Everton 1, Man United 0 at half time still, and then Paco would pick up the ball again from the through pass. He would thread the needle through to Gerard de la Feu, and the finesse from Gerard de la Feu making Everton 2, Man United 0. We double our lead against the Red Devils to make it 2-0 at Goodison Park, and hopefully give us 3 points in this one. A fantastic shot in the end from the very good instant finish, and no chance for the Valdez really. And again, good vision from Paco to pick up the pass. Couldn't have picked up the pass much better, in all honesty. And then Lewis Cook finding Andre Carrillo. He slides in Paco Alcacer, who turns, has a shot. It's saved by Victor Valdez, and again he grabs it after parrying it initially. Then Lewis Cook again would pick up the loose ball here. He would dribble past a couple of Man United men like Schneiderlin, who would find the pass for Hesse, and Hesse would make it Everton 3-0 to Everton. It certainly does flatter us a little bit, but what better statement of intent could he make than hosting Man United, a team just about kept through it to the Champions League places last season, and beating them 3-0. Again, pushing for Lewis Cook again to find Hesse, Lewis Cook, and Hesse off the bench, sort of linking up. And Victor Valdez, he made a couple of very good saves from Man United. Saka could be even more convincing for us, but Hesse would make it 3-0 to Everton with his first goal of the new season. And then following that, we would try and top that with Paco Alcacer sliding in Andre Carrillo. The Peruvian shot is saved by Victor Valdez though, and Schweinsteiger carries it away. It does finish though, Everton 3, Man United 0. And some more player training here. And then you'll see here that I found this quite funny. FC Bayern complete Thomas Muller signing. Yes, that he signed for Man City in game, and then Bayern Munich have now signed him back. I just find that hilarious whenever a player leaves their real life clubbing career mode, and then a couple of years later they move back. So that's exactly what happened with Thomas Muller. I wonder if he's going to have like a really high squad number like Bale was on 48 in that game he just played, and obviously he's on the bench and 41. But anyway, we would play a slightly stronger team. The same team, more or less, that played the first leg. Except we brought in Johnston for Alcacer, because Johnston need a bit more defensive stability than being forced to play Thaddeus Browning at centre back. And then Paco Alcacer is on fire in this game, or in this episode. So I would drop this level. Why would you? The form has been in. So we knew coming into this game that we would need at least a 1-0 win, and that would bring us to an away goals following Mr. Batshuayi's strike in Denmark in the first leg. And we would try and get a opening goal here. Philip McElhenney sliding in Dylan Burge. The Everton youth graduates linking up with the shot goes wide the post there, and goalkeeper more or less from talent. Dylan Burge, I really like the look of this guy. Like Philip McElhenney is our main youth prospect at potential to be special tag, meaning he could very easily exceed 90. Not sure when though. Dylan Burge again being slid through, and his shot is saved by the Copenhagen goalkeeper yet again. It's a clever ball from, I believe it was James McCarthy, and he takes the first time shot Burge, and it comes just off the hand of the Copenhagen goalkeeper. Very fortunate there. And it would be Everton 0, Copenhagen 0 at half time. Following that, then Hesse would pick up the ball on the left hand side. He would cut inside onto his right foot, go past a couple of men, and he would be obstructed by the Copenhagen man. And for the second time in 2 legs, we'll get a penalty against Copenhagen. And I wasn't going to let Hesse take it after he missed the penalty in the first leg. I was going to give it to you-know-who, Paco Alcacer. Of course I was going to give it to Paco Alcacer. That would give him his 3rd goal in 3 games this episode, because he didn't play the other game that we had this episode. And he scored as well. Paco Alcacer sliding it back in to the corner. He didn't even move, because he knew that Paco Alcacer was going to be too good for him. He had been able to flop last season after he came in for £40 million, and he scored 4 goals in that time. But I think he's really starting to repay his debt now to Everton Football Club. he could be the difference between us finishing fourth or third and us finishing top of the league. You know? I really think that highly of him because of his performance in this episode. Just mind-boggling stuff from Paco there. And then following that, we were trying to extend early to Andre Carrillo putting inside as he always does, shooting with the left foot. It's saved by the goalkeeper, who don't get me wrong, had a very good game today. But it would finish Everton 1, Copenhagen 0 as we go through to the group stage of the Champions League. And this is our group: Dortmund, PSV, and Galatasaray. Dortmund are a very good side, but I think we should have it in us to finish ahead of PSV and Galatasaray. A big comes in here from Simone Sioskia. I'm not sure how you pronounce that name. And if you're wondering who he is, yeah, I wouldn't blame you if you didn't know who he is. We signed him. He was a free agent as a regen last season, and he hasn't played a single game. So that brings to an end this 41st episode of the Everton Career Mode. So I'll see you for the next episode. We take on Aston Villa, QPR in the Capital One Cup, and also West Bromwich Albion in the Premier League. So like, comment, subscribe.